What's up? And welcome back to Opposites Attract Podcast. This is your girl, Sonja Ramirez, and I'm sitting next to
Miguel Ramirez.
What's up, baby? What's up, everybody? How's your day?
How's your week?
How is your life? Exciting times, right?
Exciting times, my fucking ass. Shit's a disaster.
I know. It's crazy. Like, I mentally had to get myself ready for this podcast. We are recording at 9:30 at night, and our day was just slammed, and I had to get the energy to bring it for you guys. And right before we recorded, I was at a signing, and I never knew.
Yeah, you just got home.
Yeah, and I never knew that I can sweat in certain areas.
Oh, yeah.
I was doing a signing outside, and I just felt trickles, and I'm like, this is disgusting. So I'm like, okay, girl, like, I'm mentally getting prepared because I had such a long day. Well, I didn't start working until 2. Yeah. So during the day, it was great because I spent some time with Audrey showing her how to make these bracelets. Do you guys see this? I remember doing this way back in the day. Yeah. So I was showing her how to make bracelets, and we did the, what is it?
The dream catcher.
The dream catcher. And then at 2:00, it was time to go to work. And it was a crazy, crazy day. And I knew that we had to record. And I had to mentally prepare for this because I didn't want to be grumpy and grouchy when I got home. So I'm like, okay, as soon as I get home, I'm jumping in the shower, putting some Christian music on because I really needed God today, every day, but today especially, and drank a cup of coffee, right?
Yeah, and at 9:00 at night.
9:00, but I feel good. That's it.
Yeah.
I feel good, and, you know, we got to do what we got to do. Like, there's no complaining, like you say.
Yeah.
Right? No excuses.
Yep.
You know? So
it's true.
It is what it is. And we're going to have a good podcast.
Got to get it done.
That's right.
It's good. Done. It's good, get her done. Yeah.
No, it is good.
And this is, so you guys we're recording this on Thursday night, and this is going to come out Sunday. So this month, we're also going to have an extra podcast.
Okay.
So just so that you guys know, you'll have an extra one coming in the middle of the month.
Yes.
Yep. But talking about doing what you have to do, doing things that you don't want to do.
It's not easy.
And I don't know if it was today that I was talking to you about it, but there's like a lot. There's, I'm committed to the podcast. Like, this is something that, it's at this point, it's just, we do it every single week, more than once a week or whatever. But there's these little things that, and they're not big, but they make a big difference. Like the ebook that we've been talking about, like making a new video for a commercial, like getting a new website set up. Like, all these things are kind of in line, but there's certain things that have to happen kind of in order. Like, the website can't come before the ebook, because the whole purpose of a new website is, so that we can communicate with the audience and we can distribute the ebook and all that kind of stuff. But none of that comes because you can have the website built, but it doesn't make a difference unless you have the ebook to give out.
Right.
That's the point. That's the point. That's the goal. And, a lot of time, like, the consistency is great, but there's also these little things that have to get done. There's other things. I just can't think of them now. But, there's times when we work full time.
Right. And that's what makes it difficult.
We have parents. Yes, we do. We do have parents. Hi, Mom. No, but we have kids that we have to make sure that they're taken care of. And it's just...
It's a shit show, you guys.
Yeah.
It's
nonstop.
A shit show.
But
like, it really is. It's just...
But the truth is, I was telling you today was, if this thing is going to turn into what we want it to turn into, and this doesn't just go for our podcast. This goes for anybody out there building a podcast, for anybody that's building a business, for anybody that wants to do something for themselves. There's going to be times when you have to just fucking get it done. Like, no bullshit. And, you know, I was telling you today, like, if this is for me personally, if this is what I want to do for a living,
mm-hmm.
then the little bit of fucking spare time that I have, I need to fucking buckle down and get this shit done.
Honestly, like...
And at this point, it's like...
The only time I see that we can do that is on the weekends and if we stay up until 2 o'clock at night. Like, just doing it and then you have to wake...
Or wake up earlier.
Or wake up earlier. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. You're either going to wake up earlier or you're going to go to sleep later. Like, somewhere we got to get it.
But the thing is that instead of, you know, fucking around watching TV or
But how much TV
whatever,
do we watch? Think about that.
The thing is that the little bits of time add up. When you're fucking around for a half an hour, you could have been writing down 100 words for the book. Or when you're fucking around doing something else for, you know, 20 minutes, and then you work for a little bit, fuck around for 20 minutes, you could have been doing something else that was more productive. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you specifically, but I'm just saying, like, anybody that's doing anything.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. Actually, you know what? In Legal Shield, they told us, there was I can't remember who told us, but they were like, get a stopwatch and just time yourself. Mm-hmm. Like the times that you're actually working and see how much time you actually put in, because there's a lot of people that are trying to build something and they say, oh, I work on this thing full time. Mm-hmm. I work on this thing all the time. You know, it's all day, every day. But then when you really hit that stopwatch and you're doing the things that actually make a difference, that make money, at the end of the day, you look at it and you're like, fuck, I only work like 2 hours.
Not me.
You know, but
I see what you're saying, though. No, I understand.
Thanks.
Time. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But
no, you don't.
Time doesn't care. Time doesn't. There's no way to stop time.
Oh, really?
So you have to be aware. Shut up. So you have to be aware of what you're doing.
Yeah.
And keep track of what. It's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, that minute or just opening up Facebook can still
15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Right.
And it's gone.
Yep. And that's why I swear to you, I have limited myself on Facebook. And I feel bad because I know that we have to post and I want to support my friends and I want to go on their posts and I want to respond and do all that.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to consume my time.
Yeah.
And in the morning, like this morning, you know, usually I'm up, 6:30, 7,
something like that.
You know, 6:30. I'll be in bed. Today, I stayed in bed on Facebook, responding, posting.
Yeah.
But I never until 8:30. And I felt bad even doing that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways.
So anyway, yeah, no, it's just, at least for me personally, it's just a matter of keeping the end goal in mind.
Being aware.
When I feel like, or when I don't feel like doing stuff. Because there are times when it's like, I need to write this book, but I'd rather watch people get the shit beat out of them on YouTube. You know, like UFC fights or whatever, you know? Like, that's more fun than sitting down and trying to write a book. But that doesn't make a difference. You know what? The only thing that does is make the fucking UFC more rich and make, you know, the people that are not related to me and not connected to me in any way more rich, as opposed to turning that shit off and getting to work on the shit that really matters, you know? Or spending time with the kids. What?
You know, it's having a strict schedule.
Yeah.
Putting it in your calendar and sticking to it.
Yeah.
Like I have a to-do list and I've been checking it off. And I got pissed when something it came back. I had to put it back on my list. Making the doctor's appointments for the kids. I had it scheduled. We were good to go. Now ooh, and I hate doing this. I have to find a new doctor for them.
Yeah.
And now that's going to take time because I have to call the insurance company and look up the information, look for a doctor, look for a review, ugh.
Yeah.
Yucky. But it's just, I hate being on a schedule.
Well, like it's hard for you to be on a schedule because your appointments come like whenever the hell they come, and they could be for whatever time. So your schedule's it's a lot harder to manage because stuff just pops up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking of video, so I got a commercial that's going to be, actually by the time this comes out, the commercial may already be out. So actually it will be. It's coming out it'll come out, it came out on Friday. And so you guys can check it out. You guys can share it. Because what we're doing is we put together some clips of different topics that we talk about. Because you guys know we talk about all kinds of stuff. So we put some different clips together. And we made kind of a updated commercial or, variety clip. So people can share it and get a good idea of some of the things that we talk about on the podcast. Obviously, you'd be sitting there all day with all the different topics that we talk about, but just some of them like parenting and relationships and money and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you guys can check it out. You guys can share it with those that and that would help out the podcast. Yeah. But one thing that it's kind of jacked up, but recently, so when I upload a video, you have to put all these tags. And I have a tool that helps me put in tags. And it'll tell you what tags are more popular and stuff like that. I have a lot to learn about that thing because I'm still not as good with it as I should be. But it'll tell you a ranking of the different tags. And I selected a tag that was pretty sad. And we were talking about, the clip was something about relationships. It was about our relationship. I can't remember which one it was, but it's been a couple. But the tag was relationship advice from an old couple. Like that's one of the popular tags. Like people are looking up, like when somebody goes on YouTube and they're looking for relationship advice, they'll type in relationship advice from an old couple. And if you think about it, I mean, we're not old.
You better, I'm not old. I don't know about you.
But at the same time.
but a nothing.
But at the same time, we're not.
Babe, shut the hell
in
up.
our 20s and shit.
Okay.
Right?
I'm glad. So, okay. I don't know. For real, sometimes I want to throw my phone in the garbage. No.
Yeah. Marriage advice from an old couple.
I'm listening to music and all of a sudden on YouTube, and all of a sudden I get a commercial for saggy skin.
What?
Yeah. It's like they know my age. They know what women my age go through.
It's fucking weird.
And you didn't remember.
Yeah.
You were in there. And I'm like, but that's the second time. And I'm like,
everybody's been through this, babe. Yeah.
Like, really? What else? I mean, it was just talking about all kinds of crap. And I'm like, skip.
You could be thinking something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's jacked up.
And women that gets to, that it I'm just like, motherfuckers, what are you trying to tell me?
Yeah, that's funny.
I know I got some saggy skin. What the hell? Wrinkles?
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm tagging
freaking jerks.
So I'm tagging these videos and I'm like, should I do it? And I'm like, it says it's popular. I was like, fuck it. And I just tagged it.
But why did you?
Well, it says relate. That's the tag. So people search like a lot. Apparently, a lot of people search marriage advice from an old couple.
I don't feel like we're an old couple.
We may not.
You know what's so funny?
We're not.
You lately. Okay, so Miguel. Okay, I hear this damn comment. Like I hear it all the time. Like, baby, we're getting fucking old. And I look at you like, shut the hell up. But you've been saying that a lot lately. But where is that coming from?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. Certain things happen. People out there listening, like certain things happen when you're like, fuck, my parents used to say that. Or something happened and you're like, oh, fuck. I never used to think that way before. You know, shit like that.
Gotcha.
You're like,
Okay.
oh man,
Yeah.
I'm getting fucking old.
No,
Like-
he
like,
doesn't
no,
say.
look.
He doesn't say.
Listen.
I'm getting old.
Listen, Linda.
He throws me in that shit.
No.
He says we're getting old, and when he
Okay.
calls himself a fat ass,
Keep
you know
going.
what he says?
Keep digging your hole. Keep digging your hole.
Hey, what
ahead.
was that comment you made the other day? It was so funny. You called us fat asses, but you were trying to put on your pants, and they weren't.
They couldn't close them.
Yeah, you couldn't close them, and you're talking shit to yourself, but somehow you threw my ass in there. Like we're a bunch of fat fucks. That's what you said.
I would never say something like that.
You said we,
I know.
and I'm like,
kidding.
motherfucker, throw your
Speak for yourself.
Speak for leave me alone.
No,
you know.
you gain weight in the right places.
Yeah.
Not me. I get fucking bitch tits and love handles. I got the worst fucking
No,
body type.
Dude, I get cellulite. Like it just pops up, but my butt gets big. My boobs feel like I feel luscious. But when I look in the
Hell
mirror
yeah.
and I see cellulite, I'm like, what the? And then I look at the pictures from 2 years ago. You know, when I
Yeah.
put that picture up on Facebook wearing the bikini, I'm like, what
Damn.
is this?
Oh, yeah.
You know, but I'm
You know
just like,
what?
I'm gonna wash this away. What's that thing I
like-
use?
the fascia,
the
whatever
fascia
the hell.
blaster. That thing works, girls. I'm like, I need a fascia blast this cellulite
That-
on my leg. Dude,
Well,
yes, it does work because it breaks down.
Okay.
I'm not going to do a commercial for them, but you saw the before and after.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
an infomercial, babe. Whatever. I mean,
Hire
I guess.
Hire
it'll
me.
work. Figure it out for you. Oh, anyway, you were so speaking of.
Don't be throwing
No,
me.
Okay. Okay. So
Shut your mouth.
Dude,
Shut your
you
mouth.
were so excited to get that fucking robot. You remember like
You're
getting fucking mops and getting like
Okay.
adult shit.
Yes. I
What the hell?
was excited.
There was something else too though.
Oh,
What was it?
whoa.
There was something else that we were like,
Was
what?
it the dishwasher when we got the new dishwasher?
Yeah. You
Think
see
it was
what
the
I'm
new
saying?
Dishwasher. No, for real. Yeah.
Young people don't get
Yeah,
excited
you're
about,
right.
oh, I got a new fucking robot to vacuum the house. Ooh, I got a new dishwasher. Yeah.
No, but let me tell you something. That robot has helped tremendously.
Yeah.
Because when I wake up in the morning and I see my floors like clean, even underneath
It is good.
the sofas and the tables where normally I have to get a Swiffer. I mean, I wake up feeling good.
Yeah.
Walking downstairs,
Yep.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, we got a real nice one on Amazon. I think it's called a Roborock.
Yeah. No, that's not what Miguel renamed it.
I named it Roborock out with your cock out.
Oh my gosh.
Roborock out with my cock out.
I'm
That's
like-
what I named it.
And I
But,
changed it to Rosie.
Yeah, from the Jetsons. But if you guys want to pick up a Roborock out with your cock out vacuum robot, you guys can pick it up on Amazon. If you go to oppositesattractpod.com and you see the support the show tab at the top, it'll take you to our Amazon link. And anything that you purchase through Amazon, it doesn't cost you anything extra, but it also helps out the show. And you'll also see a link to Trust Inc. And Trust Inc. is?
We are a nationwide mobile notary agency. We do a lot of work with title companies, law firms, individuals as well. So if you have a document that needs to be notarized, hit us up. What was so today?
And you can see our YouTube video. You can see all of our social media at oppositesattractpodcast.com. And share it. Share it with those that you know, because that's how the podcast grows. Reviews on Spotify, on iTunes, wherever you can leave reviews. iTunes is a big one. That also helps out the show. And we're also affiliates with Libsyn. And Libsyn is who we use to host our podcast, and some of the biggest podcasts in the world are hosted by Libsyn. And if you're thinking about starting a podcast, you can get the rest of whatever month you sign up in for free, and the next month for free if you use the promo code OAP for Opposites Attract Podcast, and they'll give you the rest of that month and the next month for free. Just use promo code OAP on Libsyn.com, LIBSYN.com.
Very, very cool.
Damn.
So are you want to share with everybody the call that I got today? You want to kind of pat me on the back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a call from the Better Business Bureau, and they were asking you if you would like to be a member of the Better Business Bureau, and they looked up Trust Inc. and they saw all the great reviews and the great work that you've been doing, and they asked you if you wanted to be a part of the Better Business Bureau.
That was super cool.
Yeah.
It was really
you said
cool.
that they had researched you.
Yeah.
Right? They researched the business, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yep.
cool.
Yeah. So that
And
was.
that's something like we were recently talking about that, where we were going to sign up, or you were going to sign up with a company so that you can get more business, or for your notaries to get more business or something like that. But we were saying that we don't want to sign up for that company because then they'll start blasting out just to any notary people that we don't even know that are doing business on our behalf, on behalf of Trust Inc.
Right. Yeah.
And that is something that we were thinking. It's like, well, yeah, that's a big benefit, but at the same time, you don't know who's doing the work for you. And,
I mean, you can look them up. You can see,
Yes.
but I don't know them on a personal level.
but they just assign it and they go.
Right. Right.
And if they don't do a good job, they hired Trust Inc.
It
to
comes
do the
back.
work.
Exactly.
You know, so that's one thing that when we were talking about the business is like, hey, one thing that we take pride in anything that we do, I mean, in the podcast and Trust Inc. and anything, is delivering a high quality product.
Yes.
Doing things the right way, doing things the right way the first time so you don't have to do a bunch of rework and stuff like that. And if they're just blasting out signings to anybody and everybody, you can't monitor the quality of work that people are doing. So
Right.
even though they may be able to get a cheaper deal or whatever, sometimes paying a little bit more and knowing that you're going to get a quality product is better,
Right.
you know? So, and that's what, when the Better Business Bureau called you,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you said that they had found a bunch of great reviews about the work that you had done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exciting stuff.
That's cool. It's awesome.
Yes. Yes.
So tomorrow we have another crazy ass day, and we got to take first thing in the morning. We got to take our dog. She's like she's a straight up pit bull. She's got big ass. She's got big ass ears, and no, she is a mix, but she is mostly pit.
Yeah.
But
I see all pit except those huge ears.
Yeah, she's got some big ass ears.
So
but pits usually have their ears cut. So
yeah, but they're not that big and they don't stick straight up.
yeah, hers stick straight up. But anyway, she's got problems with her eyes. I don't know, her eyelashes are turned in or some shit and they're fucking up her eyes. So we gotta take her in to get some surgery done tomorrow, which this shit is fucking crazy, man.
The money.
It's a $2,500 surgery. And
We should.
I was telling Sonia, I was like, you know what? When we were fucking growing up, like our kids literally, they're not going to have to go through like 90% of the shit that we went through growing up or getting to where we're at. Right?
That's why we're busting our
Right?
ass though. No, yes.
Because back in the day, when you grow up in the hood, or
like we did.
or like you like to say, from humble beginnings, if your dog has a fucking problem with his eye, that dog just blinks now. Right? Like, what's wrong with your eye? I don't what's wrong with your dog? I don't know. He just blinks. That's what you would fucking say, right?
So
I don't know. He just blinks.
So Adriana,
Or you put an eye patch on him.
right? We went for a walk. Was it this morning, baby?
Yeah.
No, it was the day before.
Yesterday.
Yesterday. Oh my goodness! And I'm just talking. We're just talking, and I asked her, Audrey, if you could be any animal, what animal would you like to be? And she said a dog. And I asked her why.
A dog where?
Right. And I told her, you know that not all dogs are inside dogs, right? Like,
She's like, what do you mean?
what do you mean? And I said,
That's Joey. Joey says
yeah,
that.
he's
What
so
do you
cute.
mean?
And I said, well, your thought to Johnny, all his dogs live outside, right? She's like,
Yeah. For those that aren't Mexican, Tata is grandpa.
and she's like, oh, they do.
Yeah, they live outside.
She's like, I don't know.
Yeah, but
She's
you
like,
gotta
I'll be a dog.
you gotta start that early. If you're gonna have an outside dog, that needs to happen from the beginning.
Right.
Because shit.
Did you ever think that you would have an indoor dog?
Oh, yeah.
Dogs.
Yeah.
We had two. Really?
Well, I mean, I never really had dogs growing up.
Yeah. Growing up, I mean, my dad had a dog, King, but King his job was to guard the house.
Yeah.
That was his job.
Yeah.
And
He was outside.
He never got
he was
shots.
A guard dog.
He wasn't fixed. He was a dog. And at times,
it's like a junkyard dog.
He would be chained up.
Yeah.
And hey, we fed him and gave him water.
Yeah.
And that was it.
That's jacked up.
None of those dogs ever, that I remember, ever had to go to the vet. So maybe we just...
the life of an animal, I guess.
Maybe we just spoil our dogs and they end up having issues.
Are we getting bougie? Fucking getting our dog's eye fixed instead of, hey, man, the dog just blinks now.
Oh, my goodness.
Right? Fuck, man.
We've never spent that much money on the kids for health issues. Think about that.
Well, I mean,
Well,
no, but when we were talking about this fucking surgery, it's like, dude, I get some shit and I'm YouTubing it and trying to figure out how I can fix this shit myself. I'm like, I got some shit growing over here. They're like, hey, get a fucking needle, put it in the fire, and when the needle gets red hot, then you put it in some water, wipe it off with some alcohol, and then stab that motherfucker and squeeze it all out.
We're cheap with ourselves.
But the dog, we got to get first-rate fucking medical care.
Well, okay, so our other dog, Macy, we just spent $2,000 on getting all her teeth removed. Well, guess who needs some work done on their teeth? Well, it's not bothering me, but when I go to the dentist, they say that I need to get her a crown over some tooth that was cracked, blah, 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 blah. But it's not bothering me. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. And for me, it was $1,300. And I go take my dog to get her dental work done before I get my own.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I told you about that when we were going to go get her teeth done. I'm like, dude, don't you need dental
He's like,
work?
we'll take you to Mexico. Yeah. He told me, we'll take you to Mexico.
Yeah, and we're going to take our dog to the American doctor.
What the hell?
What the fuck is going on here? Insane.
Oh, the life of a pet.
Yeah, but if you live in another country, good luck. You don't want to come back as a dog in a third world country.
Oh, no.
That's why. That's why.
Eaten.
Well, that's why I tell you, when you tell me like, oh, dogs can't eat this and dogs can't eat that. I'm like, you know what dogs in other countries eat? Every fucking thing. They eat whatever they can find. Chicken bones? Yeah, they eat that. They eat all that.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't give my dogs chicken bones.
They eat everything. Wow. I've seen it.
Yeah, but our dogs weren't made that way.
Dogs with a missing leg fucking hopping around, digging through trash cans and shit. Yeah, that happens.
Yeah. Well, our dogs aren't made that way.
No, our dogs, they're fucking, spoiled as shit. But we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow. We might have a different story on the next podcast.
Right.
But, yeah.
So how do you feel about the kids going back to school?
Man.
Because they're giving us an option to homeschool, which I know that's not an option for us. Like with everything that we have going on. How do you feel about that? Because if they go back to school, they're going to be having to wear a mask. Not throughout the entire day. I heard when they're in class, they can remove the mask.
Yeah.
Which is
I don't want them wearing a fucking mask all day. I don't. And I mean, to be wearing a mask for so I've been working from home for a while now. And I've gone into work a couple times. Mm-hmm. And at work, they have a mask policy. So as soon as you get on the company premises, you have to put on a mask. And that shit sucks. And I was only there for a few hours, But the thing is, I mean, I know you do signings, but when you get in the car, you can take the mask off. Or as soon as you leave the house, you can take the mask off.
It's tough, though.
But when I would go to work and it's like I'm there for 3 hours and you just got to have that mask. Like maybe I'll pull it down and scratch my nose and then put it back up, But you
just touched your nose.
Yeah, I know. Whatever.
No, but it's not. No, whatever.
I get it. It's just shit. Everybody fucking is. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. But it's not comfortable, and I know it's not about that. But then, like I mentioned on the last podcast, who knows what the hell to believe? You know what I mean? It's just, it's sad. It's very sad. It's sad that people have no idea what's actually, the one thing we know, like it does seem like shit's picking up. Again.
No, it is picking up.
It's picking up again. But I was watching something today. about Arizona, which Arizona is right now, it's the biggest state, I think, for the coronavirus. And there was I was listening to this doctor, and he was pretty much saying, he's like, yes, Arizona is blowing up for the coronavirus, but the people, like I've told you before, the people that get the coronavirus the most are people in our age range, from like 20s to like, 40, early 40s, in that age range.
Mm-hmm.
But they are also the ones that recover. Like, they get it, they probably transfer it, but they recover. The people that are older and have underlying health conditions, they're the ones that, suffer the most from the coronavirus. So, and that's what the doctor was saying. So, I don't, man,
So
but I've heard the hospitals are picking up.
They are. Our neighbor is a nurse, and
the one thing is that I tell you is it's kind of hard, because if you're talking to people that work in a hospital, all they see all day, every day is people that are sick. That's the only people that they're seeing right now. So for them, the world is burning.
this is what I know. It's our responsibility to wear a mask. It's our responsibility to do what we need to do to keep each other safe. Bottom line.
So this is
I don't care what your age is, young, old, healthy, unhealthy. It's our responsibility to do what we have to do.
Yeah.
And recently we got some news.
Yeah.
That some very dear friends,
their whole family,
got infected. And this, I don't want to say names.
Yeah.
But sister died alone. Mom's in the hospital fighting for her life. And so are two brothers.
Yeah.
And getting that news it's just, I can't even express.
Yeah.
What it feels like to know this virus can take out a family.
It's different when it's not a statistic. Like when you look at, like if you were to look at the numbers for that day, like you could put a name to some of those numbers, and that's one thing that I've always, like I've, when doing this podcast, like we talk a lot and we're talking and thinking and, saying things on the fly sometimes. And I don't know if I've ever, kind of downplayed it or whatever. But one thing that I don't think I've ever really said is like that this isn't, it's fake news or whatever, right? Like I've always said, this is a real thing. And if you're in that zone, man, you got to take care of yourself, because this is it's not a joke, and it's not fake news, and it's not a game. This is real deal for those people.
But it's not just them.
I understand.
Everybody.
I understand.
Like people are stating that that wearing a mask doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. And I don't even want to go there, but all it takes is one person to transfer it, just one. And the person could be a carrier and you not even know it.
Yeah. Well, at this point, everybody knows. Just stay safe. Take care of yourself. Make sure that you're looking out. If you have people that, have underlying health conditions or they're older, you got to stay away. And if you are those people, you got to stay away from everybody else right now. That's just what it is. It freaking sucks.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But, I guess, you got anything else? You want to keep talking coronavirus or what?
No, it's just.
But, so the other day you were, what were we doing? I think you were getting ready to wash some dishes. And so we use these sponges. I think they're Scotch Brite or whatever. They're the yellow and green ones that you see at the store. A lot of people use them. But we buy them at Costco by the big pack. Mm-hmm. And you were washing dishes the other day, and I guess the sponge was old and gross, so you threw it away. And you went to get a new sponge, and you rip open the package, and like you stuck the sponge to your nose, and you started smelling it.
It smells good.
And I'm like, what are you smelling? What are you smelling right now? And then was it you that told me that you caught Joey?
Yes.
Yeah, doing the same thing?
Yes. Yep. He appreciates
a new sponge.
He does.
Oh my God. Is there anything else that you smell?
Yes.
What do you smell?
I love the smell of a new doll, like plastic or the beach balls.
Yeah.
Like anything plastic. I love the smell of it. So when
you know what I do too?
What?
I smell the sponge too. I've done that before. And I wonder,
you pick your butt,
if you
smell your finger.
Only when the toilet paper rips.
That's gross, man.
But
hey, it's happened.
Hey, if there's other stuff that you guys out there smell,
really?
You guys can give us a call at 480-912-5128. Leave us a message.
Poke your belly button.
Hey, you fucking scratch your belly button and then sniff it, or your armpits or whatever.
Gross.
But if you guys got some weird stuff that you guys smell, you can be anonymous and let us know. 480-912-5128. But one of the things that I smell is shoes.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean shoes?
And it gives me a
new shoes. Hey.
What?
New shoes?
Yeah.
Or like after I wear my shoes, you smell them.
Well, when I know you've had a long day, I grab your shoes and then I'm like,
shut up.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I only do it
because you don't like feet.
No, I do new shoes. For some reason, it's like before it's like before they fucking stink. I like to smell them.
That's funny.
But like if I buy a pair of brand new shoes, like maybe I tried them on at the store, but then I'll fucking I'm like, oh, that smells good.
Are you serious?
It's like a brand new pair of shoes.
You're really going to talk about that on this podcast?
What? You're looking at my list?
I thought Sonja was coming for a kiss.
Oh yeah. I was gonna yeah. Yeah, the other day you went to you came,
Shut up.
You're like, come here. We were outside hanging out. It was hot as shit. We're outside hanging out.
No, that's when we went for a walk, wasn't it? And I came back or no?
Or was it that? You were hot. You had done something. You were either outside in the backyard or you had went for a walk or whatever. But you came home and I thought you were trying to give me a kiss. But then you grabbed my hand and put it on your underboob that was dripping sweat.
I didn't, you guys. He's lying.
Thanks.
I would never do something like that. That's just like
I just
gross.
thought of another sound effect. I need that slide whistle. That. Yeah, I need that one. I just did it.
Well, because you guys always talk about your testicle. Like you'd say sweaty balls, or you're like,
yeah.
You tell me, yeah. So I'm like, okay. That was supposed
sweaty
to be.
Tits?
That was supposed to be between us, not the whole us and the whole world.
Well, you shouldn't have said anything. I had moved on.
I just saw that and I'm like, are you serious?
You're gonna talk about my sweaty boobs on the podcast? They're still nice, even when they're sweaty.
Because they look like they're glistening. Yeah, they look nice.
Yeah. So. But so recently, one of my best friends, my old high school best friend, Stevens, recently had a baby. So I wanted to say congratulations to Stevens and his wife and his daughter on the new baby. And
Victoria Leon.
Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday to my godmother.
Happy birthday.
And my best friend, Stevens, he has his podcast, Like Father, Like Daughter podcast. And you guys can check it out at likefatherlikedaughterpodcast.com. And because they just had their new baby, Audrey, our daughter, and I got to fill in for them for this week's episode. So if you guys want to check it out, you guys can check it out at Like Father, Like Daughter podcast.
Very cool. Did you add that to our...
I haven't, no.
Are you going to?
I don't know, maybe I might.
I want to listen to it.
It was only an audio episode. If you want to listen to it, you know what you can do? You can go to likefatherlikedaughterpodcast.com and check it out. But yeah. So that was cool. So congratulations to you guys on the new baby. So funny. He's got some cute videos that so Stevens and I, like, we've been talking about getting back in shape because, you know, I'm getting tits. So I was we were kind of thinking about a way for kind of like to make a game out of it, you know? So the way I thought of it was like, hey, I'll send you a text with like a workout that I did. It might be just like 20 push-ups or 20 push-ups, 20 sit-ups, 10 pull-ups, whatever. So I'll text it to you and then you do what I sent you. Like, I've already done it. So you do what I sent you and then you can wait a little bit and then you can add to it. Then you do your 20 push-ups or maybe you do some dips on a chair or whatever. Mm-hmm. Just kind of like with whatever's around, because you don't have to go to a gym to be in shape, you know? So you can do dips on a chair, you can do push-ups wherever you're at.
Yeah.
So the other day it was kind of getting late and we hadn't talked to each other all day. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to send them a text. And I send them, I was like, 20 push-ups, go. And he sends me back pictures of the baby. And I was like, oh, I guess. I mean, you could do push-ups in a hospital, but
yeah,
he's got bigger things to worry about at that point.
Hell no, I wouldn't be doing any push-ups on a hospital floor right now.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Mm-mm.
So, yeah, that's how I found out that they had the baby, because the baby came a little bit later than they expected. So he was telling me that everybody, whenever he would call somebody, they were like, what's up? Is the baby here? And he's like, no, I was just calling to, like, ask you a question or say what's up. And they're like, oh, all right. Well, just call me when the baby's here. You know, nobody gives a shit unless the baby's here.
You know, there's a lot of people having babies right now.
There's a lot.
Isn't that crazy?
There's a lot. Yeah.
Could you imagine how many more are going to come during the pandemic?
Oh,
I mean, we've been trying.
Who?
You and I.
Yeah, it's not going to work. Yeah, so this is, let me see if I can. Oh, man.
I still like to try, though. It's a lot of fun. What are you doing over there?
Damn it.
What?
I was gonna do some sound effects.
Oh, okay. Like, what are you trying to do over there? Focus.
Yeah. So I cannot have any more kids because I got fixed.
I got fixed.
So when I bust one, it's like, that's what happens.
Nice.
It's like, ah.
You know, a few of my girlfriends that came up in a conversation a long time ago. And it's so crazy how we think sometimes.
Who thinks? Me and you?
No, women in general.
What are you guys thinking about?
But not me. I was good with you getting fixed. But I'd rather have you fixed than have to go through the procedure, especially because our kids were home births.
I got a story about that when you're done.
But this is a whole different topic. We don't even have time. So I shouldn't
go for it.
But just with the insecurities, like, you know, with their men being fixed and not having that trust in place. And they're like, hell no, you know, I wouldn't, you know, get him fixed. Why? So he can go and screw around and then, you know.
Just bust empty nuts.
Right. Yeah.
So you would rather him get somebody else pregnant?
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a,
you know,
whatever.
But
yeah, you got some shit to work out. But so when I went and actually when I got the vasectomy done, it was like, we're getting personal, huh? Mm-hmm. Whatever.
You're putting all your junk out there.
We've put all kinds of stuff out there, so it's too fucking late now. But when I got it done, you know me. Like, I'm always joking around and fucking around and playing.
Wait,
like,
wasn't I in there with you, or did they send me out?
I don't think so. And I think there was either one or two nurses there.
Wait, didn't we get it done, or you got it done at Joanna's clinic, right?
Maybe.
Our friend, yeah.
One of our friends' clinic, but she wasn't there.
Yeah.
All right. So, but there may have been one or two nurses, and I don't remember if they were in, like, if they were in the view, like, you know, if they got to see the show.
Yeah.
But they might have been up by, like, my head
see the show.
or whatever. But so, like, the doctor's asking me questions, and they're asking, like, so how many kids do you have?
Yeah.
I was like, I have 3 kids. What do you have? Like, boys, girls, like, what's up? And I was like, I have 2 girls and I have a boy. We just had a boy, actually, because I got the vasectomy, like, right. I was like, oh, 2 girls, 1 boy, good. Clip, we're done.
Right.
You know? So it was like it was probably a couple months in.
It was,
after Joey was born.
Shortly after, because I already knew.
So I go into the office, and he's asking me all these questions, and he's like, so now you're sure that I was like, yeah, you know, I'm good. Like, we have what we want, and
so as soon
we're
as
good to go.
They clip him.
So what happens is, this is kind of gross, but they numb you or whatever.
Yeah.
And the doctor's down there, he numbs you, and then I don't know if they make the incision. At this point, I can't feel anything.
Right.
But he explained the procedure to me. So what they do is they'll open and then they'll find.
Are you really going to go through all that?
Whatever.
The details?
It's not that crazy. They find the tube or whatever.
Yeah.
And they cut it and they cauterize it. You know. So cauterizing, you know what that is?
Yeah, they burn it.
They burn it. So I'm laying there, and he. At this point, I can't feel anything.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he's like, okay. So he's telling me, he's like, okay, so we're doing this, we're doing that, and he's like, and we're going to do the cauterizing or whatever. And I can see, which is kind of gross, a little like puff of smoke or like I hear a sizzle or some shit. So I know that we're past the point of no return. And as soon as he said that, I was like, so with this procedure, does that mean that I can never? And he's like his eyes fucking opened up, and he's like looking at me. I was like, I'm just fucking playing.
That's funny. Remember that when I went to go get my LASIK?
Yeah.
Now that was a crazy procedure.
Are we going to talk about medical procedures on the podcast now?
This is so crazy because you can smell.
Oh, that's fucking
the burn.
Nuts.
Like you can, because that's what they do. Like you can.
I think I saw it.
You were with me.
I was in the waiting area, and I think in the waiting area they had TVs showing the procedures that were going on in the back.
Yeah. And you can actually smell, and just the smell itself messes with you because you know that they're freaking cutting.
What did they say? Do you remember what they did?
They remove like the top of your pupil or some crap. I don't know.
Probably they don't remove your pupil, but they the top layer of your eye.
Yeah, the top layer. Sorry. Yeah, and it was so long ago.
And they hit it with a laser.
But it was just insane because you can smell it, and mentally you know what they're doing.
Do you hear it? Can you hear anything?
You don't hear it. You
I know
just
it's been
smell
a while.
it, and it smells almost like burnt hair.
Ugh.
Yeah. But I remember sitting up, and I could immediately, I had my vision. Crazy.
So what was it like when you were going through the procedure?
I couldn't feel anything.
No, like, I'm saying like when you laid down, obviously you could see the way you had seen for a while, right? But then what happened? Like they peeled the layer back. What happened when they did that? Could you see? Like, did everything go blurry? Did everything go dark?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
It was so long ago. It was your idea.
Yeah. Well, the reason that I told you to do it is because my dad told me, like, he got it done at an older age, and I remember him telling me, he's like, I should have did this shit long time ago.
Yeah.
You know, so I told you, I was like, that's what he told me. I was like, so you might as well get it.
And look at you now. I want to schedule another appointment.
Look at you now with glasses on.
Yeah, because it only lasts for 10 years, but mine lasted longer.
Yeah.
Because my vision just, I mean,
it's been about 10 years,
when I do signings,
it's been a little bit over 10 years.
Because these are, it's been about, it has been. But I just got an email from them. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
But they're closed right now. But it was kind of like a, hey, time to come back.
Yeah.
You know? I like wearing glasses, though. Do you feel I'm more responsible?
No.
To take care of them?
You look like
I'm a mess, huh?
Yeah, you are.
Jerk off. What were you going to say? No,
what? you look hot with the glasses on.
Oh, thanks. But I'm a rough girl, right?
Well, the main reason why we got LASIK the first time is because I was fucking tired of replacing glasses all the damn time. Because you would sit on them, you would fucking step on them.
I'm just
you
a
would
mess.
lose them.
Yeah, I'm not a dainty woman, not at all. I'm very rough on my purses. I'm very rough with my glasses, my
very rough with your
phones. My daughter's just like me. Our daughter is just like me.
We could go get phones at the same time. And they'll ask us, you guys want insurance? And we're like, yes. Insurance on her phone, no insurance on my phone. You know? It's just what it is.
Oh, no. Yeah, it is what it is. That's so weird, though.
Opposites attract, right, babe?
Yep.
It's the first time we've said that on this podcast.
No, it's not. It is not. You've said
like
it
that,
before.
Anyway. But, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny how it works out. So TikTok is, I know Audrey's, she's doing all the TikTok dances, and anybody out there that has kids.
We don't have TikTok. I don't have TikTok.
Holy shit.
She doesn't have TikTok.
Anywhere that you go and you see a younger kid walking around, they're fucking doing some kind of dance everywhere. Like you walk around fucking Walmart and it's just some kid fucking.
Really?
And they're fucking doing moves and shit.
I haven't noticed.
Yeah, kids are always doing moves everywhere. But that may go away because the government's looking at banning TikTok in the United States.
Why?
Because TikTok is owned by a Chinese company, and it's owned by this company called Dance something or something Dance. I can't remember exactly, but it's a Beijing-based company, and the U.S. government is worried that they're taking people's information and they're handing it over to the Chinese government. So like it's kind of like that they're spying using this app to send information back to the Chinese government.
They need to hurry up and do it so my daughter stops.
Yeah. So our kids haven't had TikTok.
No, but
or
she
Facebook
looks up
or Instagram.
The dances on YouTube.
Yeah. And she'll copy the dances and
Yeah.
Make little videos and send them.
Hey, TikTok. I mean, at first I was very nervous. I'm like, because I would see her dance. No, because I would see her dance. I'm like, this is my daughter. I need to show her how to dance. You know?
And it's actually taught her how to dance.
Yes. It's taught her how to dance, and it's given her more confidence.
Yeah.
Right? Like when she dances.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But anyways, let's ban it. Let's do it. I'm down.
So I think TikTok, and I think there may be some other ones, but TikTok is the big one that they're thinking about banning. Yeah.
So what? Where'd you hear that from?
Well, first I heard it on, this was like maybe a year ago or more on the Joe Rogan podcast. He had somebody he was like a ex-CIA agent or like, I don't know. He was one of the top people in the CIA or whatever. But he was asking him questions about TikTok and specifically a cell phone company called Huawei. And have you ever heard of Huawei?
No.
Yeah.
I haven't.
And it's crazy that you haven't, because Huawei makes some of the best smartphones in the world, but they're not allowed in the United States. Yep. Because it's a Chinese company, and they say like the software that's on the phones, they can track information and send it back. And that's just something that, I don't know, the American government is kind of trying to be careful about. Yeah. But
so I was listening.
Who knows? The media fucking lies. So
all right, I was listening to episode 69.
Yeah,
and I said something on there that I need to clarify, because I was talking about women that are, overweight, not feeling confident in the bedroom and whatever. And that I started thinking about that, and that's not 100% true. Like it's not 100% true. Like there are some women that are heavyset that are very confident and they feel good where they're at.
Yeah.
Like has no effect on them behind closed doors.
I don't think that,
like, they still get jiggy. They still get jiggy with it. You know, I don't know.
I don't think that's what we were talking about, though.
Because I
think what we did you? Because I think what we were talking about is just kind of like being in better shape.
Yeah. Well, we mentioned that, but then,
Is
before
better
that,
for sex, just because you're in better shape.
Is it though? I mean,
I
don't know. And that's the thing. Like, I'm
well,
sure there's.
Well, you do know.
Well,
because I've been out of shape and I've been in shape.
And it's equally the same.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
I don't think so.
You may not feel so.
I don't know.
But I'm the one receiving it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's no difference.
I don't know.
But maybe you feel that you have more stamina.
Yeah. You know why? Because you get to lay there and I get on top and I have to do all the work.
You're saying I lay on my back?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, but it is. I mean, if you want to get adventurous, it gets more athletic. And the more athletic you are, the better shit you can do, I guess. I don't know. The more endurance you have, the more all that shit. You don't get tired as much.
Yeah.
Because there's times you're sweating.
Sweating's good, though. I like sweat.
And you're out of breath.
You don't like to sweat. I like to sweat. When I'm getting busy, I like the sweat.
All right. Our moms need to turn this off again. Episode 69 and 71. Turn it off.
I just brought up one subject, and then you took it somewhere else.
Well, you were saying about being out of shape, and I was like...
Well, it's not just me. I was talking about confidence, baby. Like, there's women that are confident.
Yeah. No.
And they're heavy set,
true.
and they feel good, and they're, you know.
Regardless of how they look. Yeah.
When I listen to it, I'm like, you know what? That's not true, because I was that heavy set, and I was still good.
Putting it down.
I was still good. So, and I felt good.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? That's not true. And I just had to say something, just in case there were some women out there that said, wait, what?
Yeah.
Because I was that heavy set girl, and I broke it down, and I felt good. So
yeah.
I take it back.
Yep. So what's happening, babe?
Well, you've noticed that I've been listening to my Christian music lately.
Yeah.
And I miss going to church. I miss that fellowship. I miss the feeling.
Being around
when
the people.
I'm around. Yes. And just feeling the Holy Spirit. And I've gotten away from that because of the confusion between spirituality, being religious, and I feel that God's calling me back.
Yeah.
And so before, I used to read the Bible every day and study the Bible, and I got away from that because I started reading the Old Testament.
Yeah.
And that's when the confusion came in. Because in the Old Testament, it talks about that that God is a jealous God, and that God is, wants us to fear him, and, just taking over the land and killing innocent individuals. And
how do you feel about that? Like the confusion that you said you were feeling?
Because for me, God is love. God is compassion. God is forgiving. And God wouldn't destroy innocent women, children, and men. And so I called a good friend of mine who gone through some things, and is, a true Christian.
Yeah.
She believes Jesus Christ is the only way. And I think that's where my confusion came into place, because there's so many gods, like out
Like the
different beliefs,
religions.
different
Yeah.
religions.
Yeah.
And who's to say this person is wrong and we are right, and vice versa.
Yeah.
But God is not. He wouldn't get the confusing portion, or
Yeah.
I don't. It's so hard to explain, but I just feel that I need to get back into reading the Bible so that I can understand more and just be around people that can kind of explain things and talk to, just be able to converse with.
Yeah.
Regarding that. And Audrey has been feeling the same way. Like her and I used to read the Bible together every morning. And, we would pray together and just talk about God.
Yeah. What does she say?
She's Christian. That little girl, she believes in God. She believes in Jesus Christ. She believes and I think I stopped because I got confused and I didn't know what was real. And because I felt confused, I didn't want to continue teaching her because I'm not a hypocrite.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that I feel God's presence. And I just remember I told you I've been feeling very anxious lately.
Yeah.
And I was unsure, like I just didn't know why. Why am I feeling anxiety? Why am I feeling anxious? And I had to really just think about where this was coming from.
Yeah.
And I feel that's
what it is.
That's what it is. And I have this feeling that comes over me, very calming and just peaceful. And when I listen to Christian music,
yeah,
like it truly, I feel the Holy Spirit just building up.
So would you say that you're religious?
No, I wouldn't say I'm
Or
religious.
spiritual?
I don't feel that I have to go to church in order to know God. I know God.
Yeah.
I feel God.
So what's the difference between being religious and spiritual to you? Or is it the same thing?
Religious to me is, I'll give you an example. Okay. Catholic, because I grew up Catholic.
Yeah.
And we went to church every once in a while.
Easter and Christmas.
Right. Or when there was a funeral, somebody passed.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I didn't feel God's presence. I didn't know God. I didn't have that relationship.
It was a tradition.
It was just something you did.
Yeah.
Now, where I'm at, I feel him. I know he's here. And I talk to him like he's a friend.
Yeah.
I don't feel that I have to go to church to have a relationship with him. I have a relationship with him everywhere I go. I can talk to him. I talk to him in the car, during wherever, outside by the pool, wherever I'm at, he's with me. And before, I didn't have that relationship.
Yeah. What changed?
I started when I went to church and I met my friend Veronica Garcia. and she used
you've had some weird or whatever. Like you had some shit happen.
Amazing.
That
just
like
you can't explain.
Like I've said before on the podcast. I mean, you're my wife, and for the most, like sometimes people will tell me some crazy shit that happens or whatever. But I mean, you're my wife. You know what I mean? So when you tell me that something happened, it's kind of hard to be like, "Oh, she's fucking crazy." You know what I mean? Like I'm like, "What?"
But I would think I was crazy if I did with the. And so
like,
we should probably talk about this on another podcast, because there are some people that may feel lost.
Yeah.
And they don't understand. And when someone's like, "Oh, God talks to me," they're like, "What?" That was me. When Veronica Garcia, she was put into my life. She was an angel that was sent to me.
Yeah.
Because I was searching for God. I wanted that relationship, and I would pray and just, I wanted to feel him and know him after the situation that happened in the house.
Yeah, with your sister.
Yeah, with my sister. And that was the first, what would you call it? Experience. Spiritual experience. And I didn't know whether that visit, I didn't know if that was my sister or if that was God coming to me, telling me, that he was proud of me. And we can get into that a little later. But after that, something in me changed. After that experience of feeling God's presence, something changed in me. And I became very not aware. I get aware, or just sensitive to other people's feelings or energy. Remember, something happened to me that day, and I wanted to know God. I wanted that feeling of peace and joy and happiness. And I'm just going to have everybody confused because I'm not talking about what happened.
Yeah.
But I had a situation that occurred after my sister passed, and I was feeling defeated. It was kind of like stressed. An undeniable. I was, we had the 3 kids and teenagers, and we didn't know what we were doing. And I was going through a very hard time. I was depressed and stressed and just always crying, full of emotion. And I just had this spiritual.
Like for you, it was an undeniable feeling that it was your sister and God.
Yes. And it was, I can't even explain it, but I could tell you that my body, I was filled with chills from head to toe, and I felt the presence. Like I felt the presence, and it was so peaceful and so joyful. And it was just, it's very hard to explain, but ever since that happened, something changed in me, and I was in search of God. I wanted to feel that again.
Yeah.
And that's when I started, searching for a church. And then, when I got prayed over and prophesized, I did not tell, the gentleman about that experience, but he was telling me about what happened and what he's seen.
Yeah.
And that's undeniable, because I didn't know this man. But he knew what was going on. Why are you laughing?
Because this is going to have to be continued. Because right now I'm thinking about what we were watching last night.
Yeah.
You remember what we were watching? That show with the dude from the Spanish channel?
Oh.
So, any of you guys that grew up in a Spanish household.
How are you thinking about that when I'm talking about
because he was a spiritual dude, like he's a very spiritual guy and very positive energy and stuff like that. But he had, like, I don't know, he was very, like, he would talk to people about, like, you said that you had somebody that prophesized over you, that talked to you about stuff that had happened to you, even though you hadn't told him anything, which is what he would do.
See, his is very general. What's that guy's name?
Walter Mercado.
Yeah. His was very general. Like,
I grew
fed
up
people hope and
yeah, his message was always positive.
Yes,
it was all astrology.
But it was very general. This prophecy, it was not general. It was very specific with what he was saying. And then the dream that I had. Yeah. Like, you cannot make those two.
You see, so, yeah. No, that's crazy. That's nuts.
But that's something I would like to get into. Like, I would like to share, because there's someone out there that this can help. Like my story.
So maybe we can get into that on the next episode.
Yes.
So,
but to wrap it all up, like, I just been feeling uneasy. And I started, I'm going to start reading. I'm going to start doing what I was doing, and
that's good.
Just
do your thing.
See where it leads. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you for being with us, and we'll get into more of that on the next podcast. Yeah. We'll make sure that we write it down and we can keep talking about that, because that is actually something that we talk about all the time. And Sonja talks to me about how she's spiritual, and I talk to her about how I'm not. And we do that back and forth all the time. So we can talk about that more on the next podcast. So for those of you out there, make sure you guys go to oppositesattractpodcast.com. Make sure that you share it with those that you know. You can click on the support the show tab to support the show through the Amazon link and through Trust Inc. If you guys need any notaries, we're available nationwide. You guys can hit us up and we'll find somebody to help you out. So thank you for being with us, and we will talk to you guys next week.
Yes. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.